first, let me say thank you for the opportunity to share some ideas with you. As you imagine, I have been thinking over the last week where the center needs to go next. We have, over the time, evolved and built it and shaped it together, and now we have to think, okay, what is going to be our next 5 years? And so I have to mention that we just finished our 5-year report, and the process was good, was an opportunity to bring people together and to share ideas, and also we sat with the program committee and discussed, okay, what should be next? So I will be sharing some ideas with you. At the same time, so I will be putting some of my own ideas I have been discussing with some communities over the last days. So first I will start by outlining where we have been, what we have been doing, and where we want to go next, okay? And I will appreciate a lot of feedback, because these are just ideas on the cooking, and we want to keep cooking together, and I want to be sure that this is the beginning of our new stew, okay? Okay, so here's our focus. This is where we started. Years ago, 14 years ago, under the leadership of Ian McPherson, we started talking about co-ops and credit unions. But as we evolved in the last 6 years, we start looking and saying, well, co-ops are great, but there are other forms of collectives, other forms in which people are coming together to resolve their community needs, social, cultural, economic, political needs. And they have perhaps, different legal forms, and they have different social structures, but nevertheless, the principle is the same. They are working in cooperation. They are bringing people together. So we start thinking about community-based enterprises. I have worked a lot in community-based enterprises. So there is this community-based enterprise. I will mention only a few. Then there is the cultural issue. Indigenous people. We sit in the line of indigenous people. We live here. And indigenous people all over the world have traditions of cooperation. And so we need to raise our hands and bring the people together. And so we start thinking, well, indigenous people, the center should be a place where indigenous students come and talk about community, their own community economies. And then we see community land trusts, and we see neighborhood groups like Fernwood and other collectives. We see sustainability networks for local development. And the principle is the same. They are all and more. And the principle is the same. All are based on cooperation. So we came out with this after so many discussions, cooperative and community-based economy, right? We discussed 6 years ago with many of you in this room what need to be called grassroots economics, social economy, and we come out with this, okay? And what I mean cooperative and community-based economy, in a sense, are collective forms of enterprise. And always in the center, we have been discussing this idea of enterprising as a bigger economy, as something bigger, right? And not necessarily within market and non-market activities. And we can discuss that. And where any profits are means to. And that's what now we are talking a lot about social enterprises. Means. The economic is the means for social goals, for political goals, for cultural goals, okay? And organizations that are managed democratically. Democracy, economic democracy, have been a fundamental aspect of our work at the center, and is a fundamental aspect of all these organizational forms, okay? And it's people-centered. People and their participation are given priority. And that's where is our dream. Our collective dream is about people-centered development. And we are here, and we have been at the center, because we believe in another type of economy. We believe in economy, another possibility that respond to real people, to real needs of people. So in 2009, after we talk a lot about this thing, we renew our mission. We put everything in perspective. And we say, well, the center should be a focus point for bringing all the people that are concerned about the economy, that wants to look at different economic systems together and social systems, and foster and coordinate interdisciplinary research. That's our mission, and continue to be our mission. Promote the dissemination of research, and promote the development of university courses. We as a center, as a university, we don't teach directly, but many of us are involved, and we get involved in promoting curriculum. And that's what we have been doing all across the campus, right? Very closely, for example, with the new Master Community Economic Development. Many of us have been involved in developing the curriculum co-ops, social enterprises for community benefit courses, et cetera, et cetera. So one part of our program, a big part of delivering this mission, having the community fellowship. And over time, we have had 57 fellowships in the last 5 years. And I know those numbers because we just finished to write the report. So, for example, in 1 year we have 4 fellows, graduate student fellows, right? We have a whole program of fellowship, okay? Community fellows, because we believe that knowledge comes from different places. And we believe that we always, in our own disciplines, we get just one part of the story of things. So we have got that, and we have international visiting and 7. This is 1 year. Every year, single year we have. And every one of them bring their own research interests, okay? So people brought their own research interests. We didn't know at the beginning. When we started the fellowship program, we didn't know what we were going to get. Because people would say, well, but I don't study economics. I'm a student of history, but I'm studying childcare policies in BC. Well, this is about economics in the way we understand it. Come on. So we have different people coming, right? And actually these days was very interesting to start mapping up. This is very messy. Who have been doing this? And I come out with this. This is the topics that we have been working on. Co-ops and credit unions have been strong, okay? Indigenous communities. Many of our fellows have been working in indigenous communities, indigenous economies, social movements having a big number, and counter-hegemonic alternatives, social enterprises, poverty, public policy, environmental issues, gender issues, food issues, ethics, and corporate socialism, media, organizational development. And we have, as I say, we have community fellows. And most of the community fellows actually have been in this area, working on business plan, organizational development, structuring, tools for transformation, all that kind of stuff. So that has been our model, okay? And this is what we have come out. Now, besides the fellowship program, we also develop multidisciplinary teams, okay? And there is one team, and we have students, right? And faculty and connections with other faculty, you know, from other places and so on. And we have been successful on that. You know, we have got, over the last 5 years, close to $1 million in the center for that, okay? And there is some examples of some of these churches. I'm having mainly churches, Social Science Humanity Research Council funding. We have been self-supported over the last years, right? With the help of the credit union and with the church, we have done well, okay? And we have also a whole series, a very ambitious series, because 7 years ago we said, people in the campus don't know about us. We need to have a presence and bring people together. That was our goal, right? And so we engaged in a very ambitious and intensive plan of knowledge mobilization. I'm sure many of you have posters all over your offices. You know, we keep giving you posters. So we have the speaker series, right? And every term we have 3 or 4. And here's just some examples of the topics. Okay? And we have also the distinguished speaker series that we start a year later. Because we saw we need to bring people that can help us to conceptualize this thing called cooperative and community-based economy. We need to get this inspiration and learn more. So we started with Ian McPherson, who is, very well known in co-ops and the leading scholar, and Stefano Semani from Bologna, Merlin Waring. Then we have Timothy Mitchell, right? And we have lately Catherine Gibbs. All these people are very renowned figures in their fields and contribute to our own thinking. I have met with many of you, and we have many people from the wider community. Also, we have forums, colloquiums, workshops, that we work with people across the campus, with departments, and with communities. And we engage in all, this is just some example of some of them. Okay? So this is some examples. Now, we have been successful in doing this. We have done this, and these are other things. We have podcasts, we have websites, we have built all this. But now, it's time for us to think where we want to go and what we can do, giving our resources, our time, and all that. So, for me, one of the priorities in the next 5 years have to be with deepening our research. We open the net. We get all kinds of people. We invite people. We create a community. And now it's time to go deeper. Okay? And the way to go deeper, this was before, individuals doing, mainly we use our energy supporting the fellowship program. We have the multidisciplinary teams and topics, but the energy has been in the knowledge mobilization, has been in the fellowship program, right? And people are very happy about the support. But now, I think we need to focus on a specific topic. We need to go deeper. And that means putting the effort here in the multidisciplinary teams, in the call for fellowship. I integrate the fellowship program with the focus on specific topics. Because as a director, I have been running and supporting the fellowship, and then here doing the teams and the knowledge mobilization. It's time now. We are in a good situation now to go deeper and focus and integrate it. Okay? And the other aspect that we discussed a lot with my colleagues was the international, which mostly of our work have been mostly national, local, or national. But it's time for us to move international. And we have the networks. We have the relationships. And the point is that if we are going to move in specific topics, that means that we can have a comparative conceptualizations of what is the community-based economy and how it operates in different cultural, social, and political and policy environments. So we can really contribute to that areas. So the idea is then to have book projects and special issues. So that's mainly. Now, in the last days, I have been thinking about this idea of sector-specific incubator. We have the pillars. We have been building pillars over the last 6 years. We have the community fellowships. We have the research that emerged from the community fellowship. If I review all the research from the community fellowship, mostly have been about help me to do a business plan, help me to find organizational form that can help our food group or things like that. So we have that research, and we have the relationship. Also, we have established relationship with communities, because not only we have the community fellowships, but also we develop relationship with different communities, local communities, doing action research projects, mapping projects, with coalition, with the social planning councils and others. So we have good relationships. And we have also collaborative community events. Many of our workshops came out after conversation with different groups, not-for-profit societies, with social planning, with transition towns. All these, we have built collaborative events. So in a way, now we have to think about how we use that, okay? And I think that it's time for us to think about to do a community enterprise incubator, okay? That have to be co-created. This is not something that we as a university give to the community, but something that we work together, co-create and co-manage with them. And there are different groups now that we have been talking about that. And of course, still we have to build and think about feasibility. Why? And many of you probably will ask me, why community integrator? And I really think that the sector, if it's going to be the third sector, the community-based economy is going to be an alternative, have to build their own tools. Have to build their own tools. So that's what I'm thinking, that we need to keep exploring this idea. And of course, we will continue with our research publications. Over the years, I have been encouraging all the fellows keep publishing in journals and so on, and our library and our website. I have to say I feel very proud of our website, because in the last year we have been changing and putting more tools for learning. One thing that I really like is the case studies. I'm sure some of you have been there, but you can have this map, and then you can go and say forestry in the area, and then you find case studies around forest. Or Nanaimo, what is going in Nanaimo, and you can go and find all case studies. So it's something that I feel very proud, and I think we should continue with that. And of course, the Friday lunch is going to stay. No way. But I will need your help. And I will need the help to work with you and say, okay, how we can do it. Because, we just have to use our resources and keep doing it. Because that's what brings community together, bring ideas and bring. So, gracias. I will be very grateful for any feedback today or tomorrow or the next days, because this is what is in my mind now. And I'm excited about it, and I hope you are too. Thank you.
So thank you, Ana Maria. Yes.